Greetings and welcome to Factorio. I'm Dgray and today we continue our entry level to Megabase, where I have added a few things that I'd like to talk with you about. So last episode we were talking about the future of this base and how we could turn it into a 4K base, and what I'm kind of realizing right now is that with the current setup, with robots flying everything in and only solar, I don't think it'll be possible to do a 4K with only vanilla. That is pretty much what I am gathering. The reason for that is that if we, of course, we'll have to expand out and get more iron things further away. That'll mean the robots have to travel further and further, consuming more power. And yeah, there's no way of making that better. We can make them faster, but we can't make them carry more, and we can't give them better battery life. So yeah, that is an issue, together with putting down this massive amount of solar panels will mean that we will never get done, since this will only cover a fraction of what the base needs. So what I've been looking for the last couple of days is a few mods that will give us the functionality that we want, without being completely overpowered and ruining any challenge we have in terms of managing power and construction solar panels and expanding out the base. So I came up with two mods I want to add that I think is rather balanced and don't ruin anything in terms of what we want to accomplish, and everything we'll add will have a greater cost than just doing it completely vanilla. But yeah, that is what I'm going for. So the first mod we're going to look at, if you go into the menu here, as you can see, we have a few new things. One of the things we've added is worker robot cargo size from Infinite Technologies. So what that does is pretty much just add one more robot carrying capacity to infinite, but it scales up quite heavily, quite fast. So 1, then I think it's 2, 4, 6, 16, 32k. So that way we will at least limit our progress in it to not be completely insane and hopefully not break the immersion. Other than that, this also adds battery life. That doesn't give anything in terms of saving us power, but it will let the robots travel a bit further before they need charging. Shouldn't do that much in terms of our base, since we have more than enough roboports, but yeah, it will be way better. It adds a few other things, logistic slots for the character and stacking server size, but those things are not really things I'm worrying too much about, since I'm mostly just going for the robot parts. The second mod I added is advanced solar panels, or advanced electric high resolution, pretty much just to give us better solar panels. So the way it works is that the solar panels will be 10 times as powerful as one solar panel, but they'll cost 10 times as much, plus the electronic circuits and the steel. So that way, even though we use this, we won't save any resources. We'll still have to do the same amount per kilowatt of power, or megawatt or gigawatts. They'll just be a bit more expensive, but save us a ton of time in terms of placing down solar panels. The same with accumulators, 10 times as powerful, but will cost a bit more to craft. So it's all about us saving a bit of time and getting a base that can work without being too overpowered. I did look at the mod called Robot World, but when I tried that, it was way too overpowered. Pretty much increasing our speed to infinite right off the bat, or close to at least. So I'll go with these two. They seem rather balanced in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. So let's go with that for now and see what kind of difference it can make. So some of the first things I want to get done is give our robots a bit more carrying capacity, since that is really what's holding us back in the current stage of the game. So let's start researching this one, just giving it a few. Might be overkill going all the way up here, but just to get some research going. That is pretty much my main thing. As it stands right now, our power is still lacking at night. It will probably do that for a little while still. But as soon as we get a bit more carrying capacity, that should alleviate some of that, and we will be able to gather up ore further away. Hopefully gathering more oil and things around the base, so we don't lack so many things like stone and whatnot. So that is pretty much the plan for this episode. Kinda getting a bit of this research, getting more things up and running, getting the rest beacons, and pretty much doing something new, other than the mods that is, or adding something new to the base. I'm gonna wait a bit before doing it, but I can kinda show you what I have planned. So, at the moment with the long travel distance we have for pretty much our raw resources from way out in the world, we'll have to gather from out here at some points. Our robots can't really handle it, since the way robots work. They'll try to fill this one, so as soon as there's 100 items in flight, it'll start requesting things. And other than that, it'll take from buffer chests close by. But since these only hold 2,500 or 2.4, what's it called, K ore at a time, it's not really a viable option in terms of transporting things back and forth. Unless we make a cell for storage. So pretty much an entire cell with buffer chests, requesting in all of the raw resources we have around the map. So that is pretty much what I want to try and build, let's just say, right here. I think it'll be a fine place to do it. We can move it in the future if needed, but for now I think it'll be good enough. So let's just pick this one up for now, and then I'll show you what I've planned. Firstly, we can pretty much just put one of them down in this corner. Let's have this one request a ton of iron, so we have more iron flying in, as long as we can supply it in the world. In the opposite corner, we will have, let's just see where it's at, another one. We will supply in, we could say, for example, stone. So just have a ton of stone flying in. In the bottom left, we will have a ton of copper flying in. And over here to the right, we can have a ton of coal flying in. So that way, we have a quite nice setup to getting all the resources into base and making it all look good. Or at least getting it all flown in. That is at least the plan. So the way I want to build this in the future, when we have things stored up, is that we'll fill out a quarter of this one with each of them. So this won't be a quarter of just requesting in, what's it called, iron? I'm guessing we'll get, it's gonna be like 21 something over here and 21 down. So something like 440 chests or something in that ballpark. Times that by 2.4k. And we will be able to store about 10 million ore. That seems like quite a lot, and it is quite a lot, but that way we'll always make sure that we have these running at full speed, and they don't have to wait for things to get flown in from outside, because as it is right now, they are running out, as we can see right here, and some of them are not working, which is not optimal. So the plan is pretty much doing a massive expansion right here, which is gonna be hilarious. I'm gonna wait a second before we do it, because I want to get a few robot cargo size. And while that is going, we can go down and plan, or actually just expand out where we get the resources from. So pretty much hooking up a lot of this while we're researching as well. So for now, let's hook these up. I think that'll be fine. Let's get one robot, or this one. And then we can remove this part, and we can remove that part. Maybe this one over here as well. And still have enough to put down a ton of miners here. For now, I'm gonna go without beacon ones, because we can always expand to them. But for now, I think this will be the best solution. So let's just start by placing in a ton of miners, and then we'll go from there. Since when I get my little buffer system up and running, we'll be able to just expand out like this wherever we have ore, and everything will just get flown in quite nicely. Let's add a few more on top to cover more of it. So that will cover most of this little iron patch here. As soon as things get delivered, it'll get power, and then things should be good. Let's try and get the same down on the other ones. Ooh, did I misplace something here in the middle? It looks quite horrible the way it is. So let's just get this away and figure out why it looks so bad. There we go, it's all the way back to this where I misplaced it. So let's just make sure we don't do that again and expand it out. There we are, over here as well, because now it looks a bit better than it did before. And there we are. That looks way better. And then we can pretty much steal this one, I think, to about right here. Go down and do the same to our, what's it called, coal patch right here. So we have enough coal in case you want to request in a ton in the future. So let's clear out all the trees so we can see what we have to work with, and just line up a few miners again. We'll probably remove this little part here. Probably just hook the power up on the right side. So please do this right there. And then we can remove the power poles here as well. And these should be fine. There we go. Thank you, little robots, for clearing that out for us. And let's get the miners down. Of course, we'll line it up to over here as well as we can. And then we'll just kind of expand it out like we did. Oh, why do I keep misplacing the first one? It makes no sense, but I keep doing it. Let's see, to here. And then we'll just take from here to, I think it'll be somewhere around here maybe. Well, let's just take it to here. It's not gonna be that bad if it doesn't line up perfectly. So you'll continue out this way, hooking up even more here, go out this way as well. There we are. Then we can expand down here. Let's just remember to line up the power poles, because then we are in a good spot in terms of getting it hooked up correctly. And up this way as well. Right here. So there we are. That's going to be a ton of coal. That's also going to be added to network. This one is already up and running. Oh, these will get inside the network in just a little bit. So that is good. The next thing I'll have to gather up is probably a few copper patches as well. We do have quite a few around the place, but I want to make sure we have enough lined up. Right here we're probably gonna run into the issue of having it right in smack in the middle. That is exactly the case. And we'll want to gather up all of this stone as well. Luckily the stone one is extremely easy to hook up. So let's just do this. Please come with me. Gather all of it. Expand. Expand. Could probably just take a huge blueprint of this if you have a huge patch. And then things will be good. So that is more stone. This will be more here. And let's just clear out a few of the things we have there. There we are. Should do a massive clean on it at some point. But for now I think it's fine. So let's just hook it up over here. And then we can... What is the best way to take it from? We could take it from the right side and keep the top. So we'll move that part and that part. I think that might be the best way to do it. And then do a bit of minus. There we are. Let's copy this one just to here. Don't really mind that some of them won't be placed when we do this. There we are. And can we fit it in up here as well? There we are. And to the bottom we have a few we want to fill in here, here, and yeah, we can skip that part. So that has what's it called? Stone, copper, coal. That should get fixed soon. And iron hooked up. So that we can start to expand things out. The next thing I want to hook up, if we just look at how's the power looking, still lacking a bit, but will get better in time. So as we're doing right here, with more things flying in, let's just do a row to show you how I want it to look. We can kind of line it up. If we look right here in the middle, I think around here is the middle. And then we fit in 21 the other way. We can just do with copper or stone right away, just to do a little check. So that's gonna be our iron and our stone. Then we'll do the copper one down here, out until the middle, and a coal one the other way. Then it's pretty much just a case of, we should probably see where it's changed. So do something like this way. That is copper, and do the same for iron this way. Then we need the 21 from here. This might be a bit tough on our base, but then we at least have, whoa, look at that, all of the things hooked up as we wanted. So right here we now have room to make a massive expansion. And yeah, that is gonna be very cool. Gonna mark it with, let's say, a green chest, a buffer chest for a massive buffer area for items we want in our base. That is, that's gonna be good. So as you can see, items are starting to fly in, giving us, oh god, I'm trapped, guys. Oh wow, that's the first time I've been trapped in a while. So let's just go out here and add in you again. There we are. That should be good. I'm out the free. And there we have coal, iron, copper flying in. That'll just be a huge blob right here in the middle, which is gonna do exactly what I wanted to do, moving in a ton of product from around the map. Our main goal number one. So now that this is going, let's have a small look at what the base needs. One of it is the plastic. That's because we are lacking a few things around the base. Down here, things are still producing. We are still getting things crafted. But the oil is starting to run out, meaning that we are not really producing that much anymore. So, to solve that, we'll kind of have to make an oil cell as well. I'm thinking of doing it maybe just down here at the bottom, adding in a cell, for example a copy of the one we have up top, just for oil barrels. So hooking up that, I think that is gonna be the best way to do it. So let's just do this for now. Let's hook up a bit here, and then we'll just have the barrels flown in to this area. I can see we'll probably need to have a lot more charging up this way, since we now have quite a bit of robots flying in. But yeah, that is fine. So the way I want to do it is, let's take crude oil barrels, 50k. Let's cut you and place you into our little cell down here. So if we do right here, 21 out. Somewhere to the middle. Is that 21 right here? That is 21. And let's do it down this way. That means we have a lot of oil barrels flying in now from around the world. That is going to strain our base a bit, but that should make sure that these get enough oil to continuously work, since the travel distance will become a lot lower. So I'm looking forward to that. If these can't keep up at that point, we will just have to, what's it called, add some speed to it. But yeah, that is not one of my worries at the moment, because things are looking oh so bright for a base. But look, here is all flying in. This all charging. They are all slowly filling up. This will be quite congested. Hopefully our grid we have right now will be able to support it all. I'm quite sure it will, since we have quite a lot of charging points. So yeah, that is not bad. In terms of our science, since that is kind of what we're working towards, let's just have a look if anything is lacking behind. We are consuming the same amount of everything. Everything is somewhat keeping up. Hopefully getting everything they need. This one is starting to lack. Yeah, petroleum is lacking, plastic is lacking. Batteries are lacking for the solar panels. But yeah, that is completely fine. The power went out for a little while. That's great. So plastic, we should also, while we're at it, get all of this beaconed. Luckily, we have a setup already over here that's beaconed. So that means we can kinda remove the old one if we just expand this one out. So what if we just do that? Just gonna do, hopefully one is enough, but if we do this, we should be able to hook them up quite easily. So if we do 1, 2, 3, and then we'll just kind of remove what we have up top. And something like that. And then this one should hopefully output enough. Let's just dismantle this little setup here. You can kind of go away and be produced somewhere else. That should also save us a bit in terms of sulfur. Another robot worker size done. So let's just get a bit of battery. That'll make sure they can fly a bit further before they're needing a charge. As I said, not gonna change anything in terms of the amount of power we use, but it will change how often they have to charge. So in that regard, it might save us a very small amount. But yeah, it's more a quality of life thing than something that's rather cheaty. So now that's working. Our plastic production is going strong. Might just be missing petroleum. Seems like the case for this one is just we'll need to add in a few more that requested. So what if we just add in 4 to these, since it seems petroleum is being heavily used to make plastic and it can't keep up at the moment. So hopefully this will save some of that in terms of travel distance. As you can see, buffer chests are extremely important, but we have been talking about that for the last long time. So how's it looking? We have a ton of space iron stored up. We are still missing stone. that is probably being delivered to our little buffer area here and being used to make landfill. So that is 2 things they're needed for. We don't even have enough to start to request to our buffer chests yet, so not really anything we can do about that. These are all charging here because they ran out of power, but hopefully they'll slowly clear that out. And we might have to add in a few more charging areas right here, from what I can tell. At least until we stabilize our situation a bit. Hopefully this will give us what we need. So there we are, the base is running a lot more resources in at the moment. Not really anything we can support, but it will be in a little while. There we go. Now we just need this to level out a bit, and then it will be quite good. It's pretty much this one that's consuming quite a bit of power trying to fill in all of this. But as you can see, our coal has now filled up. Our copper is slowly filling up as well. And then as soon as this is done, it's actually looking quite bright in this base. How's it looking in terms of getting oil in? Not bad. Does that mean these have full storages? Not quite yet. But at least it should help very soon. As soon as this level out a small amount. Because look, all is coming in, but most is already on the way to be picked up. So yeah, we just needed to level out a bit before things completely normalizes. So this episode has been very much in terms of upgrading our robots. The next one will probably be us looking at our solar, getting some good setups for that, and getting that done. At least that is what I'm planning on doing. Because right now we are still lacking quite a few things around the base. But luckily these are starting to build up. These are starting to build up as well, since plastic is starting to sort itself out. Delete you. You're already over here. And you can't output fast enough. So let's just check on that one to make sure it is going as fast as humanly possible. Because we do have enough barrels, so it's just a case of adding in one of these. Will that push it all the way over here? Or will you need more? Oh, this might also be an inserter problem. So in, out. There we go. That is max speed. They're going all the way over here now. They're starting, trying to get over here. So let's see if this will make all of them run, since that is kind of the case. And that does look like it might be reaching. Is the pipe filling up? It is filling up. So I think this will be able to support it nicely, what we have in here. And that is really what I'm looking for. The rest of it is looking good in terms of resources. We are building a bit of surplus now. Just needing more of this, pretty much more batteries to fill in all the accumulators we're making. But yeah, that is not too bad. As you can see, we are flying in things from far away. And that is pretty much the case, the way we're doing it. Can we fly in enough? Yeah, we are flying in more than enough at the moment, at least to supply what we're needing here. And hopefully that is enough. If not, I will be inclined to just increase our storage area a small amount, just to have every little bit we have around the world flown in. So let's see, let's just try it with iron and see how this looks. If we just expand this one down, this is gonna give our robots a field day. So this is pretty much the idea with the rest of it as well. Let's do the same with you. Because now I'm gonna go a bit crazy and give our robots a lot to do. And there we are. No need to do it in stone, because we're not even producing enough yet. To be honest, let's just do it. Oh, let's get those two away. And let's just fill out this as well with stone. Oh, let's not do it on top of our... That means this is all iron. Oh, we did do that by accident. So that is still all iron. Perfect. That's all that. I'm not gonna do it with coal. That would be way too insane at the moment. But look at this. This is all gonna be filled with iron and copper. Oh, it's gonna look brilliant. So hopefully we can have a nice storage here, filling it up with all the things we need for our base. And yeah, that is gonna be very nice. So last thing, the absolute last thing, I'll need to stop doing more and more, is just taking this one and let's just beacon what we have right here. Just doing, let's see, it fits in around there. Just fitting in these and getting all of this up and running to produce these even faster, since that is needed for our science, among other things. Oh yeah, and let's just upgrade them and add productivity to all of it, because they are taking quite a bit of resources. Here we are. There we are. Here is a ton of productivity. If we don't do this, we'll run into serious issues in terms of getting enough produced. There we are. Should probably give this a small amount of blue belt upgrade. Blue splitter. That is fine, I'll go both ways. And fit in a few more right here. You, and get some blue belts. There we are. That should make it run as fast as we can. Now we just need to fill in the rest right here. And yeah, then we should be quite good for the next page in this next episode, being... that's not really enough, is it? 1,000 and 1,000. How about you? Yeah, let's give all of them 1,000, so they don't run out. So there we are. This should give us a lot more gears. Hopefully we can output it fast enough from down here to supply all of this. That is very exciting to see. But yeah, I'll end the episode here. Hopefully you enjoyed this episode as much as I did. Just watching this entire thing here fills me with joy. And hopefully you agree with me about what's it called? The scaling of the mods not being too overpowered, but still adding a ton of things to this Let's Play. Because it does look like we're still running a bit of power. So next episode, we'll look at the solar, we'll look at the accumulators, and then we will start to expand out quite heavily in the base. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Hopefully you'll give me a like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think about this episode. And then I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.